Recently, college campuses nationwide have been facing scrutiny for their free speech policies. After a few high-profile incidents where some students were harassed and even attacked, President Donald Trump signed an executive order last week implicating that federal funding could be at stake for universities found guilty of chilling free speech. A lot of the conflict comes from clashes between conservatives and liberals on campuses where liberal viewpoints are the majority, like UT's. On our campus, we've had a fair share of conflicts in recent years, including last semester's pro-Kavanaugh rally, which quickly became controversial. UT's administration is also in the middle of a lawsuit filed by Speech First, a free speech advocacy organization. School's policies have also been rated red, which is in the bottom 28% of universities, by an organization called FIRE, which advocates for free speech on college campuses. Two specific policies are under fire by these organizations: the acceptable use policy, which dictates what can and can't be said on university computers, and the harassment policy. The acceptable use policy receives a red rating because it has a clause in it that states, "Be civil, do not send rude or harassing correspondence." I spoke with Laura Belts from FIRE, who told me that rude is actually a pretty vague term and could include a lot of constitutionally protected speech that, under this policy, the university could discipline. She suggested revising this policy to include only illegal speech, such as true threats. The harassment policy is a little bit more complicated. At the start of this policy, it defines sexual harassment as unwelcome conduct of a sexual nature. Again, this includes a lot of constitutionally protected free speech, including jokes. The policy later defines the definition of sexual harassment a little bit more, but Belts suggests changing the beginning of this policy to something that is severe, pervasive, and objectively offensive, which is in line with Supreme Court precedent. These are pretty easy fixes for these two policies at least, and FIRE has presented their suggestions to the university in the past, but the policies remained unchanged. I asked university spokesman J.B. Bird about whether the policy office is considering making these changes in the future. Here's what he responded. In setting policies, the university considers input from multiple stakeholders, especially students, faculty, and staff, parents, the state legislature, and citizens of Texas. FIRE is one outside group, but there are other constituencies we are listening to as the university seeks to strike a balance for the best policies that vigorously protect free speech.